Okay. So meeting recording in progress. We are going to have 2 sessions on international exams, IELTS and TOEFL, and the others. So, by the way, are you familiar with any international exams? Have you ever taken any of them? Yes or no? Good, much. When did you get? Okay. When was it? 2018. How was the exam? And what was your band score? Was it good? Were you satisfied? Yep. Wow, you got 9. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Excellent. Good job. So first, I think I want you to look at the pictures and guess the idioms. Can you guess it? Very good guesses. Excellent. So 2 heads are better than 1. You said that. I'm all ears. Yeah? And you're the apple of my eye. You said that one too. Break a leg. Yeah. Cat got your tongue. It cuts an arm and a leg. Too expensive. Walking on a cloud 9. Satisfied. So happy. I cried my eyes out when you cry so hard. And don't cry over spilled milk. You said that too. Bravo. So that's a warm up. It's good to start with kind of fun activity with your students, no matter what you teach, even to IELTS students. Yeah, why not? It's just like icebreakers. You boost up the energy in the class. Okay, so what is the purpose of a test? Definitely measuring proficiency. Student placement tests, diagnosing students' strengths and weakness. So we have different types of exams, like achievement tests. You teach some lessons or units, then you one reflect, you get the feedback. Summative assessment. You give them midterm, quizzes, and final. Why? Because you want to measure how well they have learned. That's the achievement test. And it is based on the objective of the lesson. Diagnostic test. You want to diagnose a student's strengths and weakness. You want to find why my students can't speak accurately. What's wrong? Is that the grammar? Is that the function? Not enough practice? The method of questions? So what's the problem? Or maybe they don't know enough vocabulary, or they are not very fluent in using different structures. And placement tests. So guys, I'm sure you know what's placement tests. So what's placement tests? Yes, Maida, I'm gonna ask them. Thank you for mentioning. Definitely I will ask TESOL for the recordings for sure. So what is placement test, guys? Excellent. Thank you very much. The students level, you want to, yeah, that's it. Determine the students level. So you want to, you have new students. You have new students, and you want to see from what level you need to start to teach. Is that intermediate? Is it pre-intermediate, elementary, or advanced? They ask you for IELTS, for example, or TOEFL, and so I need to get 8. My overall band score should be 8. Then you get the placement test to check their vocabulary knowledge, grammar knowledge, how fluent they are in speaking, and how accurately they write or speak. So that's his placement test. Bravo. And proficiency tests like CPE, FCE, CAE, all these kind of tests that shows the level of their knowledge towards language, their proficiency. Good, thank you very much. So what are general differences between the exams? Question styles, time, and type of the questions. They're different. I mean, all the exams show the level of their knowledge and proficiency. Okay? But the method is different. The style of questions are different. The modes of problem solving is different. And also the time, some exams for 3 hours, some exam for 2 hours, or some exam for 45 minutes. So the type and style of questions are different, and the modes and time. So let's look at to some of them. But before, look at the Cambridge English qualification table. It's based on IELTS TOEFL IBT because we have paper-based and IBT. I don't think so still paper-based run anywhere, but IBT is very common, which is computer-based, and TOEIC. So here on the left side, you can see the levels: elementary, pre-intermediate A2, B1, intermediate B2, upper intermediate C1 and C2. It's a CA and CPE proficiency. So we have Cambridge International exam for children, adolescents, and adults, and even business. For children, it goes to starter, movers, and flyers. So starters, very beginners, and movers, elementary, and flyers goes to end up pre-intermediate. And they're almost 12 years old. Then it gets to the grade column, which is for students at school, middle school and high school. CAT, PET, FCCA, and CPE. So CAT goes to pre-intermediate level, PT intermediate level, FC upper intermediate, CA and CPE for proficiency. Also for business, adults to study business English, preliminary, vantage, and higher. So again, intermediate, upper intermediate, and CAE level proficiency. Then we have international exams like IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC here. We're going to discuss each one. And as the previous slide I showed you, so the type of the questions, the time and style are different, but the rest is the same. All of them assess and evaluate your knowledge of the language, English language. So what is TOEIC? Test, TOEIC. Yes, that's right, Maida. Thank you very much. The test time depends on the number of the questions. Exactly. Thank you for mentioning. So TOEIC, it's the abbreviation of Test of English for International Communication. TOEIC. So it's an international standards test of English language proficiency for non-native speakers. It is intentionally designed to measure the everyday English skills of people working in an international environment. There are different forms of the exam. The TOEIC listening and reading test consists of 2 equally graded tests of comprehension assessment activity. The possible score could be 990. There are also the TOEIC speaking and writing tests. The speaking test is composed of tasks that assess pronunciation, intonation, and stress, also vocabulary, grammar, cohesion, and relevance of content and completeness of content. The TOEIC writing test is composed of tasks that assess grammar, relevance of sentences to the pictures or to the topic, quality and variety of sentences, vocabulary, organization, and whether the opinion is supported with the reason or example, and the score scale of 0 to 200. So it has section 1 for listening and section 2 for reading. The writing is as I told you. So the listening section, there are about 100 questions, and they listen to the audio, and it's divided to 4 parts. So examiners listen to a variety of statements and questions, short conversations, short talks. They're all in English. And the answer is based on the listening or based on the audio. And it takes about 45 minutes. So part 1, photographs. There are 20 items, and there are choices that they need to tick. Part 2, question response, 30 items. They have 3 choices to do to find the answer. Part 3, short conversation, 30 items, again 4 choices to find the correct answer. And part 4, short talks, 20 items. And between the 4 choices, they have to find the correct answer. Section 2, the reading, there are 100 questions in written format. And they have to read a variety of material and respond at their own space, at their own pace to the questions. And it lasts about 75 minutes. Part 5, incomplete sentences, there are 40 items. Part 6, error recognition, 20 items. And part 7, reading comprehension, 40 items. You will see the number of the questions and the style of the question varied in different exams. So here you can see TOEIC. So 920 equals 7.5 in IELTS, or 110 to 120 in TOEFL IBT. So 900 above is the highest score. So the level is at CPE in Cambridge exams, C2. And A2 elementary gets like CAT for adolescents. It's IELTS 3 and 30 to 40 in TOEFL IBT, and the number is 246 to 380. I can show you the site. Yeah, there you go. Sure. So we can see the site. And there's a guidebook for test takers. Here's the site. So this is for CELPIP. TOEIC also, I have it. This is TOEFL. Yes, this is CELPIP. Actually, I couldn't find it. No, this is for the CELPIP. This is for, okay, let me show you the TOEIC. So let me share the link with you guys. Here's the link. Okay, so here you can see the different types of the questions, and you can take the exam, TOEIC exam for free. This is for free, 4 tests. It also have TOEFL and GMAT, but here is for TOEIC. So error recognition, 17 question incomplete, photograph, question response, reading command, short conversation, and short talks. If you like to study Barron's on TWIC, you can download it here, or TWIC vocabulary. And here you can see the exam description, the whole thing. Let's go to the other one. Let me share my PowerPoint, guys. Okay. So that's about TWIC. Another international exam is CELPIP, the Canadian English Language Proficiency. CELPIP, Canadian English, L for Language, Proficiency Index Program. So it's a general English language proficiency test. There are two types of CELPIP tests to choose. General, one is general, and it's based on listening and speaking. So evaluates test takers' English speaking and listening skill, and it's used for citizenship application and professional designation. Takes approximately about an hour to complete and can be done in one sitting with no separate speaking sessions like IELTS. It all happens in one. And the other one takes about 3 hours to complete and can take one in one sitting with no separate speaking sessions. So let me share with you for CELPIP. Here, share. So this one is for, yeah, it would help me. Oh, okay. I cannot change it. That's so here, this is the guidebook for the test. And it says that this is the general test format and this is general LC test. So in LC it's only listening and speaking, but general test format are on 4 scale: listening, reading, writing, and speaking, all 4. And how to register. And here is the band score. The highest is 12. 12 means advanced proficiency in workplace and community context. It's like 9 in IELTS or 120 in TOEFL IBT or 910 above in TWIC. 11 is advanced proficiency again, but it's at the level of CAE. 10 highly effective proficiency and 9 effective proficiency. It's like upper intermediate. And the lowest is almost 3 is elementary, but 0, 1, and 2 minimal proficiency, like beginners. And this is the descriptor. Okay, this is the descriptor. So what does it mean, 12, when it said proficiency? So what's the definition for coherence? And what about vocabulary? Okay. So what is the ability of the students? And even in writing, again, is that readable even? And task fulfillment, how relevant they answer, the level of the vocabulary and the range of vocabulary they use, and also the coherence in the writing. So it starts basically from 3 to 12. I can share with you the description. So where is the chat box here? This is the link. You can easily find. Good. So that's it. And here's the official site. So here it said content, listenability, vocabulary. So speak with a very good control of a very broad range of complex and diverse grammatical structures. So that is 12. Vocabulary, use a very broad range of concrete and abstract language. Use a broad range of figures of speech and idioms. That's 12. Content and coherence, communicate in demanding, non-routine situations for a full range of purpose, intention, and objective. Present information and develop ideas with complex, clear, and precise description or details. For task fulfillment, for 12, it said, I can adapt my language to the situation, my desired purpose, and my relationships to listening. That is for 12, level 12. So you can find, just click on it, you can find a description. What is the description for 11 or 12 or 9 to 10? Good, so that is self-pip. Now, let me share my PowerPoint. So there we go. So here is PTE. Have you heard about PTE, guys? Yes, good. So what do you know about PTE? Wash, how do you know about PTE? What do you know about it? Good. Bravo. Thank you. So PTE also stands for Pearson Test of English. It's very popular in Australia, actually. Very popular in Australia. It's one of the best known international English exams. Yeah. But it's very popular in Australia and somehow in Britain. And it's held regularly by Pearson Learning Company. It's just like IELTS, and it can be taken in general and academic modules. And the main goal is to evaluate your 4 main English skills, like speaking, listening, reading, and writing. 85 to 90 is the highest. So the highest score is 85 to 90. So here is the scoring. So ICE 9 or 8.5 is 89. 9 is almost 90. And in TOEFL, 120 is like 85. I have the site, so I can share it with you guys.
In the comparison, is it to IELTS academic?
Yes, it's very similar. It's very similar. Yes, it's very similar.
In many comparison table, they don't specify it's IELTS general or IELTS academic.
It has
It's
both.
very hard to tell.
It has both, academic and general. It has both. PTs also have general and academic.
Yes, I mean in the comparison table.
Okay. So here's a type of the exam for PTE. So they have to read aloud. Okay, so they have a text and they have to read aloud. Then they need to repeat, they hear a sentence, they need to repeat the sentence, describe the chart, and retell the lecture. So they listen to a recording. It's including a lecture. Then they talk about the context under your own words. And answer short question. That goes for speaking. And it has some parts, it has a negative point. PT listening, it's summarized spoken text, multiple choice. They have to choose single answer in multiple. And fill in the blanks. Highlighting the correct summary. So after listening to a recording, you need to choose the paragraph that best summarize what you heard. And select the missing words. So you will listen to a recording, then you need to complete the sentence. Highlight incorrect words. So after a recording is played, you will be giving a text with some mistakes. You have to highlight the mistakes. The dictation is very important. Dictation is very important. You're going to lose marks if you write incorrectly, like IELTS. PT reading, it's multiple choice. So choose single answer after reading a text, but also multiple choice, choose multiple answer after reading text. So it's more than one answer. Reorder paragraphs, so they have to put the paragraphs in order, fill in the blanks, and reading and writing, fill in the blanks. They need to complete the given passage using the correct sentences. And the sentences are shown as list. They have to, you will choose the sentence that completes the text. And the writing, it's writing an essay, 200 to 300 words. It's essay writing, and it's a response to a questions. Summarize text, you need to summarize the text in a sentence, 75 words max. And you have to mention the key contact. So here I can give you the Ctrl+C in the chat box. You can have the link. There you go. If you want to know more about PT. This is the site. Good. So far, do you have any questions about the exam? Good. Then the other one is Duolingo. Have you heard about Duolingo, guys? Have you heard
Yes, I
about
used it.
Okay, how was it?
Our students use it for.
Okay, if you say it's difficult, I think it's a bit challenging because it's online and it's very important. I mean, the rules are very challenging, but the exam itself, it's not very difficult to my experience and knowledge. So the Duolingo English test is a modern language proficiency. It started after the COVID. That's almost, I guess, it's only 3 years. It became popular because of COVID and the restrictions because of the epidemic. So and still it's going on. Still students, when they want to enter university, they have the chance to take Duolingo tests online. And it offers an English proficiency score, video interview, and writing sample in an accessible, efficient, and secure testing experience. So IELTS and TOEFL is much more popular than Duolingo. Having said that, in the light of COVID-19, the Duolingo English test is also being acceptable, but still it is accepted. It's still is being accepted by some universities. So comparing like 105, 110, 110, it equals 6.5 IELTS. And 6 is like 95 to 100 Duolingo. 5.5 is about 85 to 90. And here is, if you want to know more about Duolingo, you can copy. Let me share you the link. You can find free test. Even on the YouTube, you can find something about it. Good job. Now, what about TOEFL? There are paper-based and computer-based of TOEFL that we call it IBT. Paper-based, it's a long time, not very common in countries. So TOEFL is a test of English as a foreign language. Test of English as a foreign language, TOEFL. And to test your ability to communicate in English in a specifically academic, university, and classroom-based setting. I can say 85, even maybe 90% American accent. It's very common in North America. And it's accepted by over 8,500 institutions across 130 countries. But it's very common in North America. UK, USA, Australia. Nowadays, Australia mostly they ask for PT, but still they accept TOEFL and IELTS. In Europe, IELTS, and in Asia, IELTS is more common, even in North America. But TOEFL is very common in North America. TOEFL is administered by US-based organization, the Education Testing Service, and so conducted in American English. The formats of computer-based, TOEFL IBT, listening 40 to 60 minutes, 30 to 70 minutes, structure 14 to 20, 20 to 25 minutes. Then you have 5 minutes break, and then reading 70 to 90 questions, about 45 to 55 minutes, and writing 30 minutes, one topic. So reading 17 to 90 minutes, 44 to 55 questions. If I said it wrongly, I'll correct myself. What about IELTS? I know you said you're familiar with IELTS. So IELTS, the International English Language Testing. IEL, International English Language Testing System. So it's used for educational, immigration, occupation purposes, and is accepted by over 10,000 institutions across 140 countries worldwide. And jointly owned by the British Council, IDP, IELTS Australia, and Cambridge Assessment English. IELTS is an international language test. You can use either UK or US spelling, both are correct. 75% you hear British accent, but still there are other accents like American, Australian, Indian, New Zealand, different accent, but 75% British. And depending on the interim requirements of your study program, you might need to take either the academic or general. Academic usually used for university and general for immigration, mostly. Good. Now we're going to talk about the different parts and what's the difference in IELTS and TOEFL, and what are the difference between the style, modes, and time of the questions for different skills in IELTS and TOEFL. If you have any questions so far, according to the international exam, you can ask me now.